You seem like a very broad artist. What other things are you working on? Because I could totally see you writing. I could see you in production. See, what are the other things that you're doing?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and within the music vein, obviously I ghostwrite for people as well. I write my own stuff. I also got into like editing and like making short form content on different pages online regarding social media. I just got my YouTube up and running, so I got more long form content coming as well. I'm editing it down. I learned along the way how to. I'm not that good at it yet, but editing music videos. But I also record and engineer myself a lot too. And then, obviously I have some short stories that I'm working on, etc. Like a lot of it is in the realm of creation, a lot of it with writing as well. And even when you're recording stuff like say YouTube and creating vlogs type stuff, it's still scripts that go behind it. And like, so you can keep the right pacing in the videos and stuff like that. And, I'm learning, I'm getting into acting as well. So like, there's a lot that I'm kind of breaching into. Ultimately, I want to like gain a lot of experience in these areas so I could write different movies and books down the line. I'm thinking, mid into my 30s or even 40s, I might even be able to be in a position where I can get my first movie or a show or a thing like that down the line. You know what I mean? But for now, just creating the content, being in front of the camera and being multifaceted in that for sure.
Awesome. Last year, I think there was a new unanimous fist pump and applause when we heard that the family was going to have an opportunity to do a show, a series actually, featuring your dad. But I'm not really familiar with the specifics. One, is that true? And if so, where are we now with that?
So that's more in the realm of my mother deals with the estate and she deals with like the whether it be book or movie deals and stuff like that. There's been a lot of stuff that came across the table along the years, like, oh, there's a show here or this happens. Like some of it didn't pan out, some of it started and didn't pan out, or just wasn't the right time. And so there's nothing concrete in form of like, oh, this is the date that it's coming out. There is stuff in the works and there's a lot of talks and stuff getting situated, but again, that's I don't want to divulge too much when, my mom's at the forefront of teasing that information or even getting the stuff on the table there. So, but yeah, there's
So
ideally though what we want and what I know she wants and stuff like that, never to put words in her mouth, but just to know there we want something out there. So if things go our way, then there will be something, whether it's a show or a movie for sure.
would you be willing to play a main character role in that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I'm one of those people, and with this, I want it to be so good that it has one shot to be really, really good.
Mhm.
And so of course, I would love to be in it, to whatever capacity, but no nepotism and no, favoritism going in there. Like if I'm not the best for whatever that role is, then don't put me in there. Like I need to be good enough to do it. You know, because if somebody else could play whatever role that is way better than me, ultimately we want to put out a good product. You know what I mean? So there's no pride attached to it. So yeah, if I'm good enough, then I'll be in there, and if someone's better, then they'll be in there for sure. But in that, again, if we're creating the world, I would love to be able to be in it and in a way that I did it justice for sure.
Wonderful. I wanted to ask you because hip hop is now, last year was the 50th anniversary. A lot of conversation of how hip hop has evolved and in other ways um, grown. The genre of drill, for me, my thoughts are kind of similar to the evolution of heavy metal and rock and roll. For a while, we had rock and roll, which a lot of the parents were like, oh, this is all right, it's not so bad. Then it materialized into heavy metal, a little darker, a little wilder. And then we got to the goth movement, which was terrifying for a lot of adults, but there was a whole movement behind it. I kind of compare drill to that goth spinoff of the source, which was just rock and roll. What are your thoughts on the drill music and the aftermaths that we're seeing, because similar to the goth movement, we started to see violence in other ways. You know, we saw the rise of the trench coat school shooters. Can I say that? Things like that. And in the drill scene, we're seeing the celebration of unalive. It's a very dark, low frequency version of hip hop. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think I love, first of all, I love how you juxtapose the death metal and that type of rock and goth music to drill. I think hip hop is really young when you compare it to other genres. Rock and roll's
Yeah.
been around longer, classical music's been around longer, so you're gonna see some of the same trends happen in its own genre. I would say even in rock and roll and goth, that, you know, at a certain point, kids, teenagers, when they grow up, they want to be rebellious, and they don't you know, adhere to what the previous generation before them, whether it be their parents or older people, they say you got to live like this because this is how we learn. And you're like, no, I'm living my own life. Let me be rebellious. And that's kind of where the goth stuff came through. And then when you go even more into the emo stuff, emotional, it's people, you know, kind of feeding off that emotional angst that's happening during puberty and the confusion and all that stuff. And it kind of manifests itself with, you know, with how they dressed and how they behaved. And a lot of negativity did come from that. But overwhelmingly, I would say positive things came from that too. You just, obviously it's sensationalized when it's a school shooter versus that one person versus the 100,000 kids that probably, you know, didn't cut themselves or didn't harm themselves or do self-harm because they was getting that emotional access from the music. With drill, I think it's obviously, you know, hip hop's version of that. And in certain areas, you know, when you think about Chicago, when you think about other places where this is happening a lot, it's kind of a manifestation of this is our culture, this is what we feel, and we're rapping about what's going on around us. If we live in desolation, poverty, and violence, and we're poets, this is what we're going to rap about. We're going to make the soundtrack to our lives. We're going to make the soundtrack to the things around us. It's unfortunate that a lot of people are dying from it. And not from it. It's kind of like, again, the soundtrack to some shootouts, the soundtrack to stuff. But I think it gets way deeper than, I think we're talking about the effect a lot. Like, oh, we see this, you know, perpetuating or sensationalizing these murders or people dying. Whereas it's kind of, the cause of it is, again, poverty, being in environments where this is so normalized. You know what I'm saying? Like it took a lot. When you grow up in the hood, it takes a lot to not have a hood mentality. It takes, you have to be different than everyone around you. You have to not follow your friends. You have to isolate yourself. Sometimes you have to put yourself in danger by not being in the herd. And most people are going to be inside that. I'm not making excuses for it, but I'm trying to explain why it almost makes sense that that's the type of music manifesting when their lifestyle is so reflective of it. So it's definitely unfortunate, I think. And I think that drill kind of took over the scene sonically for a long time, trap and drill. And I think for the better part of a decade, I think we're finally getting to the point where maybe the consensus of music is shifting a bit. But drill had a chokehold on hip hop, which hip hop was
Absolutely.
for a while the biggest genre. So I think it really spoke to the people who was actually going through it and the people who from the outside who are just so captivated and fascinated by that lifestyle, who are in the suburbs maybe, but it's so, wow, we gotta see. So I could see why it blew up. I could see why it's getting pushed, especially when they want to keep us at a low frequency and just kind of keep us there trapped because that's where the money is. But yeah, it sucks. I'm really interested in seeing where music is in 5, 10 years, or even if we adopt something that's more, you know, uplifting. And there are some artists now, but yeah, it's definitely sad what happens in relation to drill for sure, but it is what it is.
Chris been dreaming of the greatness, A-list celebrity placement since basement, since words like you ancient had more soul than A-sex. Patience is a virtue, but it hurts to not be heard like non-verbals. Herbals blazed and burn the sage when I blow like Virgil paid what I'm worth, not slaves. But I am in a mental cage. What to do with all this rage or this self-disdain? I should be selfish, pain make me feel like I need to change. Plus a microdose of the psilocybin got me close to my hopes on vibing. Maybe I play my post and timing will all work out when I'm all burnt out. Almost burnt my mouth. I spit the hot shit, gotta shift the optics. I'm letting my chicken plastic like I hit the mosh pit. I'm swinging, ain't shit for blocking all these bars for myself to gift. I'm locking, I'm popping off like Marvel songs. A lesson learned is not long. tribulations, trials and tribulations. Like we going up and down, but now I feel amazing. They know, they know, they know, yeah, they know, they know, yeah, they know, they know. I'm going through the trials and tribulations, trials and tribulations. Like we going up and down, but now I feel amazing. They know, they know, yeah, they know, they know, yeah, they know, they know. I'm going through trials and tribulations.
Thank God for creation, just imagination. Thought you was a friend but no relation. Biggest AI animation. I told them Jesus, God in the flesh, wanna equal depth and hold no breath. See my life, they think amazing. I tell them Christ, they think I Mason. You're jealous or zealous, but I rebellous. Jesus, police wanna nail us. You fail us, mail us. You wanna be gang, then hang with us. You Lucifer her, so I might kill the evil liar. I'ma keep my rifle. First ocean, now land rivers. I told y'all, Chris and Bigga.
Trials and tribulations, trials and tribulations. Like we going up and down, but now I feel amazing. They know, they know, they know, yeah, they know, they know, yeah, they know, they know. I'm going through the trials and tribulations, trials and tribulations. Like we going up and down, but now I feel amazing. They know, they know, yeah, they know, they know, yeah, they know, they know. I'm going through the trials and tribulations.
BK fell, watch your step, you perceive, be caution. Power of the dollar, you lost one. What more to say? Don't want to fry, see son, obey. Blam, blam, best jam. Gun in my hand, but I don't wanna kill, man. These rappers come, I kill. Not a boss, just run a mill. Ran VA like can I speed? Was it hunger or just greed? Diamonds on my wrist still wear. Ain't no biggie but the crystal clear. I cross the line and run through your circle. I'm the bigger picture, you just commercial. Said Sean Bigger what these guns about. I said mighty dark, soon the sun come out. And the night soon come. Always wanted to rap with fun. Praise God for the sun.
Trials and tribulations, trials and tribulations. Like we going up and down, but now I feel amazing. They know, they know, they know, yeah, they know, they know, yeah, they know, they know. I'm going through the trials and tribulations, trials and tribulations. Like we going